everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stating the Goddamn Obvious. We back in it, boys. It's your summer edition out here. We've all been vibing. Pranay, not so much, but everyone's generally vibing. Pranay's doing like a million things, but it's fine. It's fine. But before we start talking about all that stuff, we gotta get a regular intro in. Jacob,
Yeah,
why don't you say something obvious for us?
this is something that I saw online, and it was quite interesting actually. So Elon Musk, very famous man, his net worth is like $150 billion, something insane like that. But if you earn $10,000 every day, 365 days a year, from the time the pyramids were built till now, you'd have like 10% of his wealth or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane. I wish I could have $10,000 a day. I'm a
Yeah,
very
dude.
poor
That would
boy.
be pretty nice.
My God.
I mean, that's the kind of money that gets you to build rocket ships and shit.
What is it with all these billionaires and starting space companies?
I don't fucking know, man. I personally think it's a dick measuring contest. I think Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are just trying to like fucking just show who's like the biggest, richest nerd in the house.
Yeah,
And so
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Elon Musk did it long. Like I think he's far more interested, like actually interested in it.
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
I also think probably Elon was more interested, but at the end of the day, all they care about is that dough.
that is true.
So, it's just
But they
facts.
do make some other stuff looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say doesn't look cool, but we all know the true purpose. And also like Elon Musk, I don't know what that he's just like his tweets do all this like nonsense to like the crypto market.
Yeah,
I don't
he
even
can literally
know.
control the economy with his Twitter account.
Yeah, like that's so nuts. But regardless, Noah, why don't you say something obvious for us today?
The country of Andorra had to pay money to both Spain and France from like the medieval times until 1995. The problem was the agreement that Spain and France signed with Andorra didn't increase with inflation, so uh, the last payment that they had to make was about like $3 each.
It's kind of funny, those dumb Spanish people.
Wait, why did they have to
So basically,
make
Andorra is like this small mountain country in
Wait,
between,
hang
like
on. Is this a history
what?
fact?
Sure.
All
Cue the
right,
music.
we're
This is a
delving
history
in.
fact.
Cue the music.
history with Noah?
But
All right,
yeah,
Noah, tell us.
Andorra is just like this small country in between Spain and France. And so what ended up happening was like somehow neither Spain nor France wanted to like take over Andorra. So they basically just made an agreement where they're like, if you pay us like a certain amount, like basically like a tax, like we'll just like we won't mess with you. We'll just like let you be independent. And Andorra was like, sure. So every year they would pay. Andorra would just like pay like Spain or France like this like amount of money, which used to be like just like a bunch of like chickens and goats and stuff. But over time, it just became $3 just because inflation and shit.
But Andorra's that small, like little circular country in the Pyrenees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Ah, very nice. They just snack. They didn't want none of it. All right, Brene, it's up to you. I've given you time. You probably Googled something, but let's hear it.
But before I say my obvious facts, there's the other day I don't know how I found this, but there's this one island off the coast of India where they have this one tribe. I think it's like of 20 people. The island's not that big either, but they've been like watching this tribe since maybe since British colonization of India. Maybe since the 1940s or some even before that.
British colonization of India ended in the 1940s.
Well, like I don't know exact date range around when they were fucking doing their observations of this one island, but so like they've sent people to this island before, but like obviously they don't speak the same language, and no one knows what like derivative of language either that they speak of, or it's somewhat similar to something, but nobody knows the language. But they would just kill everybody that would come to the island. And one day this Christian missionary guy went to the island, and he went day one, and he was just like on a boat, like trying to talk to them, trying to convert them to Christianity, obviously, and then they were like laughing at him. And then the second day he went, and then they killed him. But now onwards, there's this little island where if you try to approach it, and if they like kill you, no one in the world is going to take like legal action against them. They have like the right to just stay on their island by themselves without any interference. And if you go there, they kill you. You get like you can't do anything about it.
What if you go
I
there and
mean,
kill them?
I don't know about that.
that
But
honestly sounds kind of unfair.
yeah, that does sound a bit unfair.
I mean, they got like spears and shit. Like, I don't know,
They
man.
don't have guns or anything. They just have like spears actually. And so like if you came with a gun, you could probably kill everybody because there's only like 20 people.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
Hey, just dodged the Italy spear, man.
I found it
Damn.
very interesting that a group of 20 people can live on this island and is so distant from the rest of society. Let me try to search this up. Okay, but before now that that is said, my obvious fact is I kind of just already told the car show this to cop, but the opposite sides of a die will always add up to 7. I found this
Okay.
on some website.
What the
and it was a
fuck?
good-
So, what was this whole story for?
It
Then,
was
if it
just,
had
I don't
nothing.
know. No, one was just talking about small islands, and I was like, okay, I
What?
remember this interesting fact. that I was-
Andorra's in the mountains. It's not an
Okay.
island.
I don't know what the fuck I was listening to. Maybe I just got reminded that I was
Oh
trying
my
to search
God.
up some random shit, but I heard some nonsense about an island, and I was like, fuck it, I'm
So
gonna
speaking
go
of like
look up
the
this
like
fact for an
native
island.
people though, what PJ said reminded me like I recently just watched this TV show. But yeah, so you guys all know like Bear Grylls and stuff, right? Obviously he's like kind of fake, right? That has been proven a lot. But there's this one TV show on Nat Geo called Primal Survivor, right? And it's kind of the same thing. There's this dude who goes out in the forest and stuff, but what is interesting about what he does is he for like 2 weeks or so he lives with like a tribe native to that region, and then they show him like basically like learning all their tactics and stuff like that, and then he goes out into like the wilderness and like does some task and like just shows off how to use all those techniques that he learned, even if it's fake. Like the techniques that they use are real, right? uh but it's just kind of interesting how like you can separate all the different like climates in the world and all the different geographic locations, and people with very similar climates evolve very similar tactics completely separately. And it's just like I don't know, it's just super interesting how like the native peoples of the world like live so far away from society and like slowly they're becoming more and more integrated. I don't know, I just find it kind of cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
it stands to reason, no? Like, if you are in like similar climates as other people,
Yeah, but you're evolving,
you'd
you're
find
like
like probably the best way of doing things with
yeah,
the
but you
stuff
do
you
it
have. You'd
completely
have similar things.
independently. It's just like insanely cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool. Hey, I have a question for y'all. We all ended up like in like that nature survival type situation, the 4 of us. Who do you think would last the longest?
I would try to find the nearest cliff to jump off of
So
immediately.
hang on, clearly would not survive the longest.
God.
Cobb, I
Dude.
feel like has the least body fat to survive. He was
Yeah,
just
but also
on-
I would not be. I feel like I could outrun a lot of things. I feel like the number one killer of anybody would be disease and infection. So
Yeah, it'd probably be infection. Honestly,
God.
I'm thinking.
Fucking-
Bob's
I
gonna
don't know.
outrun the disease, guys. Don't worry.
Because like infection, they're I bet they're smarter than me.
like whoever doesn't get their foot cut, that's who survives the longest.
Swear to God, man. Like just the idea of having to like live out there with fucking insects and shit. Like, God, I hate bugs so much.
If it was like the 4 of us, like if we were on like some like chartered private plane or something, and we like ended up deserted on an island, how long do you think we would make it before we all just?
I feel like if we work together, we could survive a pretty long time. It also
I mean,
depends
it
on the
depends a
supplies.
lot on like
Yeah.
what kind of island you're talking about here.
That's
Like,
also-
I
if you're
suppose. I suppose that's fair.
if
That's
it's
fair,
like
that's fair.
some like like fucking it's just like a rock in the middle
It's
of
just
the
like
Pacific
sand.
Ocean.
Yeah, I get it. I
Like
get
we're
it.
just fucked. Like
doomed.
there's nothing you're gonna do about that. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
let's
mean-
just say there are enough resources to survive, but you just have to know how to access them.
I mean, I don't know. Probably indefinitely.
I feel like if we work together, we could survive.
I mean, really, the thing is like you just need like some amount of like material that's like some amount of metal would honestly just be super helpful because
Yeah, I feel like you most definitely need a knife or a machete. Without that, it's
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to make your own tools, I'd say. And old tools, at least that are up to standards that like something that a knife or a machete could do for you. I was looking at this other YouTube video the other day too. I went down some rabbit hole, and it was this like survivalist guy who reviews survivalist items that you can buy on the internet. And he was, and honestly I didn't realize then like how useful um like these all these different types of tools are, and all the different things that they could do. Because I mean, I obviously have never made a fire. Maybe you guys have started a fire from scratch before, but I like after looking at that video, I do not think it is as easy as what I thought it was before. And he was talking about how there's only specific types of grasses and stuff that can catch fire, and you got to look for like dead wood or some shit to catch fire. You can't even pick up twigs or shit off the ground because those are still too wet to catch fire.
Yeah, I
Uh,
actually like
but
from this show, I've learned a lot of different techniques how to make fire. And the
but
basic premise is first, I mean, you got to use friction between like two very dry sticks. You need to get an ember, and then you need to light something very dry on fire. And if you get like one drop of sweat or some moisture in the air falls on it, it's over. You got to restart.
man, I remember when I was a kid, I used to take a magnifying glass and try to set like little pieces of bark on fire. That was fun.
Did it ever work?
Yeah,
Very nice.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we survive easy. We win these. My knowledge is like limited to when I played Minecraft as a kid. First, we get the wooden pickaxe, and then we
Yeah,
Oh,
evolve
we
from
yes.
we
there.
get we got on the stranded island. PJ starts looking for food. Noah starts the fire. I start building the shelter, and Jit just goes and starts punching trees.
I mean,
he's just
so
raging at the
techniques.
trees. We're like, this is the most productive thing for him to do
Fucking
right now.
Ivern. But I mean, like there, like honestly, you can survive on very little if you just have like durable materials. I mean, I remember there was like some dude named like I think it was like his name was like Poon Lim or something like that. It was like some Chinese sailor guy whose ship got capsized, and he survived floating around on the ocean for like almost a year. So
What?
yeah,
How?
he would just like he caught fish. He had like there were like survival rations in the lifeboat, and so
Okay.
once he ran out of those, like he used the cans to like catch water and shit and to like fashion like fishing hooks and stuff like that. So like he had materials, and he was able to use those materials to like get like water and food and stuff.
Yeah, but can't you like not drink the seawater, or else
I
you'll
mean,
like?
like he would like condense it from like he would like catch rainwater and like he had like a yeah, I think like he had some kind of like seawater condenser.
Oh
Yeah.
Was
wow.
that what
I
they're
feel
called?
like the ocean is probably it's like the place where the most life exists, but it's the hardest environment for like
Yeah,
a
bro.
human to
Oh
survive.
yeah, for a
Yeah,
human for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Life of Pi.
Life of
And
Pi. Yeah, like wait, Noah. So is that thing that they have in Life of Pi that's called a water condenser?
but
He had like a little thing where you just put seawater and like it evaporates and then like it falls back down or some shit.
yeah, I
Don't you
probably yeah.
remember we did this project in chem, and I remember Noah blew up the can.
Oh yeah, that shit. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, look. In my defense, I was not expecting the fucking flask to explode like that. All right, like
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously, you were expecting it. No,
He was
I
just
mean,
like,
like I'm
I
just
want to
saying,
see death
like
and destruction.
like okay, like really, like one drop of water falls on the hot plate, and like it literally like it just like fucking mustard gas inside that. Like, how do you predict that? That makes no
That's how they made
sense.
Science.
mustard gas in the
Les
World
Science.
Wars.
I mean, like
Uh,
fucking Like, I mean, like, I thought it was just gonna, like, hit the hot plate, go just, sort of like evaporate and that'd be it. And instead I got fucking trench warfare in a bottle and like
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
know what was in my chem lab for like in honors chem? And for the first like 2 or 3 labs, every single time Noah broke something. Something went wrong and it was
Look,
entirely his fault.
what do you mean it's entirely my fault?
But you took water and you dropped it on there and the whole thing turned to
I
mustard
didn't
gas.
do it on purpose.
Fair. But
I just saw like the water like overflowing, and I was like, I saw it like sort of it was gonna drop on the hot plate, and I was like, this is probably fine, and it wasn't. It wasn't fine. My bad, I guess.
it is your bad.
Shut up.
Damn, chemistry takes me back. And then I took AP Chem. I kind of regret that decision, but I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to be a doctor, so I was like, we'll see.
Must do. Now you do the computer.
Can you think about?
It probably
Can
would
you
have made more
imagine
sense
being
to
a
take
doctor
AP
now, Jim?
Bio. Can I imagine being a doctor? Honestly, no. Like, I don't think I could survive that much schooling.
Right.
It's just like
Yeah, I
way
honestly
too
cannot
much.
either.
I'm not
So
like, passionate enough about it to survive it.
It's really
so like
not. It's not like. I mean, obviously you do your 4 years, which is the same as everybody, like undergrad, and then in
Yeah.
med school, the first 2 years are like kind of advanced topics, and then the second 2 years you're kind of working.
okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
so regardless, you know how like I'm still unsure if I want to get like a PhD or not, right? But recently, I've just been like so over tests and GPA. I just hate it. Like I like the research and teaching parts of academia, but I honestly I hate tests so fucking much that I might just like not do it. Yeah.
What like isn't a PhD less about uh like tests and classes and more about
Yeah.
research, and then you have to write a paper or like
Yeah,
this
I
Yeah,
thought
but
like
I
you just
just
have to do
I
a
just
thesis.
test so
Huh?
much. man.
I don't think graduate school has like that many tests. I'm pretty sure it's mostly just writing your thesis.
Yeah, it's at least in math, what I've heard slash read is like you do have some classes. It also depends a lot where you go to school, where you get your PhD from, because colleges differ.
yeah,
Also,
like don't they have like these different ideologies like, oh,
yeah,
this test is
Okay,
good, or
but
oh,
I
this
just have to.
thesis.
I just
You know
have
what?
to right now. I have to worry so much about GPA tests. It's just
Wait, you know what? I don't
so
get like those
toxic.
people who have like doctorates in mathematics. Like, what the fuck do they do all day, right? Like, what do they research? How do you research math? Like,
You
do they just
research
go?
abstract math.
Yeah, but like, do they just go into their like office and they're just like,
Yeah,
man,
it's a common meme. It's like
two.
math research is just like you just go sit in your office and you just think about one thing for the entire day, and then you just um you just like leave, you go home, and then you just go back and you sit there for the entire day, and it's just a common meme.
I mean, I don't really get it. I'll be honest. Like,
You never got anything about math though.
it's true, and I'm just like, you got like calculus was invented like fucking like 400 years ago. So like at this point, like, what are they on? Like fucking abstract, theoretical,
What
five-dimensional
are they on?
mathematics. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that is
honestly,
practically
At a
Like-
certain point, calculus kind of cringe. Like, it's just cringe.
I mean,
right?
like, okay,
it's
okay,
I'm
like-
doing with multiple
you know
variables, I'm doing with
the
this
class
thing, that thing.
the class
It's
I'm taking
cringe.
right now, real analysis, is actually like the proofs for like why calculus is. It's just proving calculus. pretty
That's
much.
so stupid, though, right? Like, shouldn't it work like differently? Shouldn't we first learn why this stuff makes sense and then actually learn how to use it?
I mean, yeah, honestly, but like it's fucking beyond. There's no way I would be able to do this shit as a high schooler. Absolutely no way.
I mean, like calculus, I think is actually pretty useful in like some circumstances. Like,
I mean,
I've
in
st-
most, obviously, in most.
like, I mean, like, of course, like,
Well,
it,
in
like the
what
whole.
engineering
circumstance?
things.
I mean, you're just
In
trying to
before
find
Noah
like.
gets kidnapped, and the only way for him to get out is to solve the derivative of like 2x squared.
Yeah, man. At
it's like,
that
oh,
point, like,
fuck
I
it.
don't know, just fucking done.
And
But
you
also,
remember
like,
the derivative
2x squared, Noah.
squared.
Huh?
What is the derivative of 2x squared?
I don't know. C. I would just, like at that point, I would just bubble in C, and I'd just be like, all right,
It's not multiple
I did my
choice.
best.
Is it your response? No, just write C in the
I would-
response
at that
section.
point, I would go on to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. On the calculus BC, AP calculus BC test, the AP test, I did not complete a single free response question.
Oh,
I
really?
none of them.
For real?
I would start one. I'll be like, all right, I know how to do this.
Wait, what did you get?
I got a 4.
Oh, hey, yo,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
curve is so
Yeah.
broken
You
on
just
that
curve.
one, by the
the
way.
perfect multiple choice.
Yeah, the large
Like
curve.
as even with Heian doing that stuff, there, if you got a 4 with that big a curve, there's people who just didn't answer any multiple
Yeah,
choice. Like,
bro, can you imagine the people who get like 2s and shit? Oh,
Damn.
God. Like at that point, why are you taking the test?
It's pretty
Yeah.
sad.
Holy AP
I know.
tests. Those were always like we all go into the gym and they have to sort it. They have to do it one by one, get all the names and the stickers, and then college board. Fuck college
Oh,
board.
man.
AP tests
Straight
now,
up.
like, okay, so with COVID and stuff, AP tests are online,
Yeah.
so it is
Yeah.
very cheesable. Let's just say,
I mean, yeah, no shit.
yeah, like,
But honestly, who cares?
yeah, not me.
Not me.
I would prefer. I still prefer like our year. I think I told Pranay this once, but I forgot who I was telling this to. Maybe it was no. But I'm glad that we were the class of 2019. I always thought it'd be cool to be the class of 20 because hey, it's like 2020, like like 2020 vision. Like I don't know, it just seems like nice,
2020
like
vision.
symmetric. And then
sick.
this all happened. I was like,
Yep.
class 2019, boys, we hit you. Like I'd rather have taken my last year of high school in person and then suffered in AP exams than like have all 5s for my AP exams and
Yeah,
had
we
to do it
really
online.
got out in like the nick of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think so.
I guess things are getting back to normal now because I think most people are probably vaccinated, at least in our area.
Yeah,
We do live in Texas.
but I mean, eventually people are just gonna stop, like, I don't know, stop caring as much, stop putting as much importance on it.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
are
I mean,
already
honestly,
at that state.
Well, at least
honestly, I
in
think
Texas,
the danger is like probably past right now because
it's more of a minimal thing now. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like
I
the
remember.
danger was never really like super individual. It was more like the number of people getting affected was like overwhelming the healthcare system. So like even
Yeah, but
yeah,
now it's like if you are even getting like infected, the chance of like mortality is like drastically much lower if you have the
yeah.
vaccine. Like it's
Well,
point like 0.000 something.
well, it's because like the hospitals aren't like overflowing right now, so you'll actually be able to get the care you need instead of
Yeah, if you just get the treatment, like you're
yeah.
fine.
So I
But
mean,
No, the
when
other
we
day. Oh, okay. Actually,
okay,
you go
I was
ahead
gonna say
first.
what I noticed is when we all went to Blaze, right? When we met up,
Yeah.
as we talked about actually in the last episode,
Yeah.
there were like plenty of people there that just like did not care. They were just kind of walking around without masks, like they're just like, fine. Which I
Yeah,
mean, I guess like if you're vaccinated, it's fine. But I feel like that's just happening more and more now. As I'm going out more and more, I see like tons of people, and I guess maybe it was like that even like when the numbers were really high, but I wasn't really going out then, so I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. Honestly, I kind of like wearing masks. Just
why? What do you
don't
say?
know.
Oh, okay.
What was I gonna say? So you know how there are new variants for
Yes.
COVID?
Yeah.
I read
Yes.
I read the title of an article. I didn't read it fully, but I think I don't know how this promotes inclusivity, but I think they're naming variants like after Greek alphabets, like alpha, beta, to like promote inclusivity.
What?
What?
That makes no sense. But
Yeah.
Inclusivity of
let me
what?
try let me try to
Greek
pull up the
people?
article.
yeah, like
I don't know.
the
Let me
most
try to pull up
dangerous
the
one
article
is
right now.
Delta, but I don't
Delta.
know how that's inclusive. But okay,
I mean,
How much more dangerous is it really called?
it's like fairly substantially because it spreads faster. But
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm not only talking about how quickly like I guess it spreads, but also
like
how much damage does it
if
do
you're
and how
old
like
or have like
what is the mortality rate?
Okay. The reason is like apparently some names, some disease names, indicate like some location. I think COVID.
Hey, what are you talking about?
I'm saying like the inclusivity thing.
The
Like
alpha, beta.
yeah, they
What
want
is
to
this
do
inclusive of? I
like
still don't.
they don't want to make it named after a specific region.
Oh, okay, like
oh,
the British variant or the
yeah. I
whatever
mean,
variant.
honestly naming it after regions though it helps you know where it originated from.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, but like also like I don't know. I mean, the Republicans and fucking China virus and whatever.
The
Yeah,
takes is very.
yeah, that's true. But I feel like if people didn't make such a big deal,
Yeah, I mean, if
like
people
I
were
don't know,
less stupid,
Stupid. Yeah, I was gonna
like it
say
would be
stupid.
okay.
yeah, it's like this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
That's actually facts. I remember when we were at Blaze, Pranay and I were like sitting at the end table, and this family without like any mask or anything, they just come sit right next to us, even though there's like a bunch of other tables that they could just go sit right next to us. I was like, okay,
For fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
Like, why does this?
Melbourne.
Why do these people
But
have
Blaze
to
was fun.
Blaze
have a
was fun.
family?
Sorry, no, what were you saying?
Saying why do these people have to have families and shit?
Ah, fact. Got him. But
So
yeah,
you know how
we
this is somewhat of a tangent. You know how animals, like, one of their most instinctive things is to reproduce, right?
Yes.
So do you guys know what the immortal jellyfish is? I don't know the scientific
Yeah.
names, but
No, the Hydra.
it's like something that can reverse its aging process.
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
jellyfish, yeah. Infinite
I
life.
was wondering the other day if it has the same sort of sex drive as other animals, because like it doesn't.
Renee,
need-
what is happening in your
What?
brain?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so my thought process was I was listening to this lab thing about cicadas and how the reason why there's so many right now is because they make these sounds to mate, and so I was just wondering about all the animals and like why it is so in them to have the sex drive, and I was wondering.
Alright,
if
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No,
Immortal
no, let me answer this.
jellyfish
Let me
has
answer
them.
this one. Because
Okay.
I actually watched a documentary on these jellyfish recently.
Very nice.
And yeah, they do, because they still get eaten and have diseases and stuff like that. Like, crocodiles and alligators, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually age. Their telomeres don't shrink. So
Oh,
they're
shit.
technically immortal if they were cared for long enough. But they still can get like, diseases, infections, different things like that. There's still a bunch of reasons why they could die. So they still have to reproduce.
I see.
Like starvation, like let's just say there's a lack of food, like all the fish die for some reason. They're still
Yeah.
gonna die. So like immortal is like immortal if all their needs were
It is
constantly
a
met
perfect
forever.
condition.
yeah,
I
it's
see.
like conditional immortality.
Interesting.
I mean, people
Yeah.
are studying these jellyfish and the crocodiles and stuff to learn how to like reverse our aging.
Yeah.
But
Why? Just let nature be nature, man. Why do we? Nothing ever good happens when you fuck with like big shit like this, like nature
like
heavy stuff like this.
China recently did some like cloning or like pig human hybrids.
Idiots.
Wait, they
Like-
made pig human hybrids actually?
Yeah, like
What
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
That stuff kind of seems like you're playing God there.
I think it was like some. No, I think it was like some Chinese scientist. He wasn't like working with like any sort of oversight or like professional sanction. He was just kind of like doing this shit on his own. I think I read that like after all this stuff got released, like the CCP just basically just made him go bye bye.
Yeah, yeah. He's nowhere to be found anymore. He just kind of
What
disappeared.
the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, it disappeared.
Yep.
Air quotations.
yeah. But like that kind of like we already have like an overpopulation problem. I feel like 100 years is like a pretty good lifespan anyway.
I
Like
mean,
if you can get the lifespan up to 100 years,
Do you
I
guys?
think that's pretty solid.
like
Some
I was
vegetarians.
reading there's like some point where like at some point like people who are born at like a certain time, like a certain cutoff, will age slower than the progression of like health technology. So like the ability of like medical technology to extend their lifespan will increase faster than their actual like aging, right?
Yeah.
So like for every year that they live, like medical science can increase their lifespan by like 2 years. So they'll like technically never die, or they'll never have to die.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Netflix show Love, Death, and Robots is?
Yeah,
Isn't that like? Yeah, I saw the trailer.
It's like a Black Mirror-esque thing, except it's like shorts, pretty much. They have one episode in the newest season actually that kind of talks about stuff like this. And in that episode, um, like everyone is immortal. And obviously, they have like a higher level society and a lower level society, and like everyone is immortal. But and so they've made it illegal to have kids because then there's overpopulation, right? And so they have like these bounty, not bounty, but the police force like goes down. They have like a branch of the police force that goes down and hunts people who make kids. Um,
Yeah, but in that
and
that
it's kind of
situation,
interesting.
right, you have higher level society and lower. Like I feel like at some point the lower level people will be like, we don't want to live like this anymore. We want the upper level people, and then the whole like
I
medical
mean, the lower
technology.
level were
Like
also they were also immortal. Like they also
I
lived
know, but
forever.
were they like happy with like
Oh
quality of
yeah,
life?
they
Or
weren't happy about quality of
yeah,
Yeah.
life
like I feel like at some point they would try and upgrade their quality of life, and then like eventually the fighting like consumes the medical technology, and then people die.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to be immortal.
yeah, I think that would suck.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I no, it would suck. I thought about it. It
The
would suck.
story in specific, it follows the life of this. I mean, it's only 20 minutes long, so you can't really follow the life, but it follows like the transgression of this one police officer who is also mortal, and he has like this immortal wife. Um, I mean, do most people of the upper echelon society, and he goes around finding all these people who have kids, and he like keeps on questioning as to why they have kids, and then like he himself also wants kids at some point, or like it's alluded to that he wants kids, but then another his like officer buddy finds him helping out this one family with kids, and so he kills the officer buddy, and then he kills himself, and then
Nice.
Good episode. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel
Spoiler
like
alert.
at that point, like by the time we get the ability to have functional immortality, like we'll also probably have like a working space program.
True.
So
Also, I read this thing like, or not read this thing. There's this show like Secrets of the Universe, or like Year Million. Year Million is what it's called, right? It's on Disney Plus, and it's like uh, year million's like some phrase that like scientists use to describe like when we reach immortality in like future society, not like the physical year 1 million, right? And they were like, yeah, once we're immortal, it won't really matter because what's going to happen to achieve immortality is medical science will never catch up. The way you get immortal is we'll have this like super advanced AI system, and we'll all be upgraded onto like this supercomputer, and like that's how you achieve immortality because you're like your brain is on some hard drive somewhere,
yeah,
and like that's the most likely situation where you get immortality.
I mean Elon Musk is trying to do that. He's got like that neural chip shit he's working on.
Wait, yeah, he has a neural chip. People aren't mad about that, but people are scared that like you're gonna get some sort of microchip in you from a vaccine.
I
Like that
mean,
makes no sense to me.
I saw
it's
the other
because like these
day.
people don't know who Elon Musk is. They only know Bill Gates because he's famous rich person.
Okay, so I saw the other day this meme of a YouTuber, or it was like an old guy who looks like a conspiracy theorist, but his conspiracy theorist was like, the vaccine doesn't put the chip inside of you; it actually takes it out.
What?
And, and I was like, and the comments were like, "This guy is who's gonna save humanity."
Ah, yes. I
He's
mean,
the
like
chosen
honestly,
one.
who gives a shit if you have a chip in you? Like,
Like
Well, I
you
mean,
already have a phone, which is
yeah.
basically the same thing. They can
I
basically
would
do everything.
prefer not to have a chip
I
in
mean,
me.
like Google already knows like all that shit about
I
you.
mean,
Like,
that's fine. Like, let them know. But I feel like a chip is probably a bit too much.
Yeah.
Maybe okay. It's because I watched this movie. I don't know if it's like a horror movie. It's more of a thriller kind of movie, but it's called the Bellco Experiment. Bunch of people are like in this office space in like some like South American countries, but they're all like American workers because like outsourcing. I don't even understand it, but anyways, they all had like chips put in like their head for like security in because they're in like a foreign nation or whatever, and like not the greatest part of like this country. And so what happens is like they get locked down in the office building, and then they have to like fight to the death.
Yeah. I feel
that's pretty
like
funny.
chips inside someone's a little bit much, but
I mean,
yeah. Like
like, what
even
would the
Oh,
now,
oh,
chip
if
and the
do?
way they were sorry, I didn't finish. The way they were incentivized to fight to the death is like you have to kill like at least 30 other people in the building, or
At
else like
least 30. What the
or
heck?
else we'll kill 60 because they could just blow up the chips that were in your brain and kill you.
uh,
What the?
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
to add that part. That part is kind of the
Uh,
key
Wait, is
to,
this is
to
this
the
on
whole thing.
Netflix?
The Bellco Experiment.
Yeah,
It's
where'd you
it's on
watch it?
somewhere.
I feel like though,
I don't know. Forgot.
like already right now, these like sites like 23andMe and like genealogy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Uh, they take your DNA and then they upload it to their site and server and stuff like that. I read somewhere that like somewhere in their contract or something, one of these sites, your employer or like your potential employer can like request that data. Somewhere in there, some one of these sites, if your employer requests your data, they know like what diseases you're predisposed to and stuff like that, and they can like if they know you're going to die soon, well, they're not going to hire you, kind of thing.
yeah.
Which like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
like
that's one of the
that's
that's one of the start of these kinds of things.
yeah, but that's like arguably the most important information that you will ever hold is like your DNA. So I wouldn't want to upload mine to like some site or something.
I mean, that's just like a basic civil rights violation, but I don't think that's
Yeah.
like really anything super new.
Yeah, but I would be very skeptical if someone wanted like my DNA. I don't know.
It's kind of weird though. Like somebody's like, "Hey, can I have your DNA? You look
I
like you
mean,
got
I
nice
think
genes."
there are also alternative interpretations of that.
Yeah.
The organic
Alright.
life rate
But
disintegration
I mean,
machine.
Oh
like
my
in
lord.
terms of
You
like a
guys are
chip,
idiots.
right? Like what could like a chip possibly like do to you?
Blow you up.
I mean, I don't see how
Also,
that's a
if it's
downside,
advanced
but
enough, like if it's in your brain, like you could possibly control someone.
to
I
do
don't think we have
what?
that kind of tech yet,
Like
but
I feel like it's all electrical impulses.
Like, I
If
mean,
you
like
could
to do
control
like
that,
again though, like to do what? Like, I mean, like what would you possibly?
murder.
I mean,
Why?
just
Who
like
gives a shit?
I don't know. Entertainment.
Like,
the
I
first
mean,
thing
like
they just gave to your mind.
people like I mean, we got like fucking mass shootings every other day, and like those people don't have chips in them. Like, clearly, you don't need computer chips to get people to kill each other. You just gotta find like suitably crazy people and give them guns.
yeah, but like,
Mm.
what if like there's a normal, very sane, average person who just goes on the killing spree? Like they don't want to do that. Like,
I mean,
can you imagine
clearly
like
they did because they did it at some point.
like just doing some like feeling so helpless, like doing something and you're not in control? I don't know. That would feel so torturous.
I mean, isn't that like most of your involuntary actions?
But what involuntary actions do you not want to do?
I mean,
Have you guys seen that movie? What is it called? Escape Room, also like horror thriller, but
I've heard of
they're in
it.
an
I've seen
escape room,
trailers.
but
Yeah,
it's like a real
it's like death
escape
if
room.
you
Like if
don't.
they don't
Yeah,
escape, you'll die.
I've seen I haven't seen the actual movie. And I've seen some scenes on YouTube too.
I could kind of do it a little bit of a spoiler. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about it, but if you guys plan on watching it, I
just
won't say
watch
anything.
it. Just watch or just tell us about it.
I mean,
Honestly.
I think I've already spoiled it as well.
Yeah.
Like
So
from
spoilers
YouTube
for anybody
videos.
else who
So
doesn't want it.
the whole yeah, so just like don't listen, I guess, or something. Like skip like the next 30-ish seconds to like a minute. But what happens is they're all going through this escape room and like, some people die, some people don't make it out of the room, whatever. But at the end it's sort of revealed that it's all happening for the entertainment of like these super rich, super like elite people like around the world, and they're all kind of like watching on their like TV of like this sport that is happening. So it's kind of like honestly a bit like Hunger Games esque, but
Uh-huh.
not
There was
exactly.
also
I feel
there's
like
this
that is a very plausible thing to happen.
in
yeah there's
personally,
this movie I think it's called Hunted. I'm not 100% sure what the movie was. I think it was called Hunted, but um basically like it was these like super rich Democrat people, and they like took a
I know the movie you're
yeah
talking about.
like they took a bunch of like Republicans who like they're all like
What?
racist and sexist and like they had all these like really harsh views, and what they did was they kidnapped all these Republicans and like threw them into this like
I
forest
think
and
I've
then
seen the
went
trailer for this. I've seen the
yeah, and
trailer for
they
this.
went and like hunted them down and like shot every single one of them and like
that
Yeah,
they were
sounds
hunting
yeah,
them for sport, and then they were like, "Oh yes, we are the very high moral people because we are the Democrats and they are the Republicans and they are all racist and stuff,
That's
and we are the
funny.
moral ones."
that sounds
Uh,
really funny. I'll be honest.
It was
Wait,
yeah, it was
no. This
satirical, but
movie
it was yeah,
is so unbelievably funny.
yeah.
Like honestly, some of the lines they deliver, like the conversations, the character stuff, dude, like
Man,
it's the perfect balance of like them just making fun of politics that it exists today, and then people just like blowing each other up.
Yeah, this was quite
It's
literally a
actually
social
amazing.
justice warrior.
Lamau.
Oh, what was this movie called, Jet? Do you remember?
I
I think
remember
you're
seeing this
right. It was
trailer
called
very
Hunted,
explicitly,
but
man.
I know.
you know what? I'll look it up right now, and I'll let
I'm
you
the only
know.
one who's like never seen this.
It's called The Hunt.
And
The Hunt.
honestly,
The
Hayon,
Hunt,
I would,
the
I would,
Hunt.
yeah, I remember that it was called The Hunt too. But Hayon, you'd be the first one I would expect to have seen this movie. Honestly,
Why?
Yeah.
I think it would be something you'd find funny.
I think you'd really find it funny too.
Oh yes, yes, yes. That's what they called it. The people who were hunting, they called them a bunch of deplorables, which was like obviously a
Lamau.
direct reference. Yes, they named themselves the elite and the deplorables. That is what. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, I don't get why, like the whole idea of like hunting people in a forest or whatever. It doesn't really sound that fun to me. Like hunting in general doesn't sound fun to me.
I would hope that hunting people does not sound fun to you. Hang on.
I mean, like the thing is, like there's no like real element of like. I feel like there's no real element of danger in there, right? Like it's not like they're giving these
What do you
people guns so
want?
they can shoot back. I mean, like if it's like if it's like a one-on-one gunfight, then like I think that'd probably be kind of fun because like there's a potential that you die. But like, I mean, just shooting like some person like who's just got no weapons, like that's boring.
I worry about the things you say sometimes.
I mean, it's
That
true
would
though.
be a great bad guy though.
It's
Yeah,
boring.
you would.
I mean, like it's real. Like it would just. It's like. Have you ever like just tried to like? Have you ever just like farmed like a bunch of like low level enemies, or just
In
like
what game?
in basically
Like
any
Destiny
game?
or something.
Yeah, like Destiny or like even in League. Like when like the other team is like so low that they. I mean, like so like low level that they can't do
Worthless.
shit to you. Like it's just not. It's not as fun because
It
like
stops being fun. Yeah, it
yeah.
actually is not very fun once you stop stomping them. You want them to put up a fight, you know?
Exactly. Like
But I
it's
also
not
feel
fun
like
without
there
some
is a
like element of risk.
there's a huge difference when it's a game and when your life is on the line. Like when it's
I mean,
survival, your
okay,
instinct
yeah,
will
but
kick
like
in.
the thing is, like the person who has a gun, their life isn't on the line. They're sitting there with like a fucking AR-15, and they're just like, "Bam! Wow, I'm having so much fun." Like, it's not fun. It's not gonna be fun.
Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time, like okay, well, hunting originated for like not out of fun, but out of necessity. But like hunting nowadays is just like for sport. People get I don't know. I don't. Yeah,
Actually,
just people get enjoyment out of it.
this is also another tangent. It's also very actually interesting Radio Lab episode. You know, some of the biggest conversation, no, conservationists. They like the conservationist like entire organizations are often supported by hunting organizations because
Yeah,
what states do and what these different organizations do is that they find like big game or even like smaller games and like this is for example one thing that they do. They auction off the right to kill like maybe this one male rhino that is really old and it is like going and like killing a lot of other animals. And so they auction off the right to for a hunter to kill one of these, and then these prices go up for like very high amounts of money.
Yeah, like
And so
millions of dollars, right?
isn't
yeah,
that what happened with like that dentist who killed that
yeah,
lion a couple years ago?
yeah.
Like he got like a fake.
I don't know if it was the dentist, but there was another guy with some rhino. That was a very big controversy that the Radio Lab episode was talking
Oh,
about.
I think I remember hearing
But
about this. Yeah.
but like yeah, they not only sell the rights to specific animals, but also like they give you the right to kill. Like one of the big items is they give you the right to kill anything in the state for a year, but only you. Obviously, you're not gonna go around and give this to someone else.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
in the state, kill all the people. I have the license.
The ultimate
Just fucking
conservationist.
Ukes, Kansas. Like, don't worry, guys, I got a license.
I found it very like these auctions and stuff support conservation efforts quite a bit too. So
I
like
mean,
hunting has evolved from like even the sport is also in a way promoting like conservation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how firefighters start fires from time to time to like
Mm.
burn down like stuff that could catch fire, right? Stuff like it's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I mean, I can see like the logic behind it, but like also I feel like there's like the possibility of like a problematic incentive where like obviously like you need the money for like conservation efforts, but like you don't want to just be like handing out these licenses just to get more money.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like you're for a lot of like the most endangered stuff. It's like you kill one individual, one of them
Yeah.
for like millions and millions of dollars, which like is I think that could fund the conservation for quite a bit.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know, but I mean, like again, like I just don't see how it's like that fun. I mean, like I guess like some sort of like battle royale could be entertaining, but I
I
don't
mean, it's
personally.
pretty commonly explored themes in like movies and such.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that fun personally.
I
Well,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
but I'm sure some people also would think it is. So
I mean, I think those people
kind of
are probably kind of stupid. Like modern warfare these days is just not very fun. It's just very industrialized.
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, yeah, I agree pretty much, but sort of is what it is, boys. All right, I feel like honestly we spent most of this episode on a tangent, but if you like that, let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll just do it like this some more. Right now, we have to talk about what we are doing this summer.
I feel like PJ
Uh,
should go first on this.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
I'm doing many things. My life be very busy right now. Um, it's just like I have this. It's like a semi part. It's officially a quote unquote part time internship, but like honestly, it's just how much I feel like putting into it. Like there's like a minimum. There's like a bare minimum I can put into it, obviously, but um, I think there's some aspects that obviously the more I put into it, the more I will get out of it. Also, like there's a potential of doing some paper. Actually, it sounds interesting that it comes out of it, but um, so like that is quote unquote part time, but honestly is taking up a lot of time. But then also I have a summer class. The summer class is not like some random class that you don't really have to pay attention to. It's like real analysis, which is not only important class and math sequence stuff for me, but it's just also difficult. Um, but this professor seems to be fairly like grading fairly easily.
This is where you get
Which is very
anal, right?
this is where you do get anal.
Okay.
So that is unfortunate. Um, and then there's like some other research shit going on. But for one of the research things I was doing, we had 7 meetings with the professor this past week. I mean, we had twice. Each one were like an hour long, at least an hour long. We had twice, two meetings a day sometimes.
Hmm. Are you getting close to publishing or?
No, it's just in the beginning. We're just like talking about. We're just talking like he's doing like a sort of a mini lecture series on stuff before we actually get into what the actual project is. Because it's like he's trying to cover the content of a class, um, like over a semester and try to like talk about the important things that we'll need to know from that.
Oh, okay. How many people? Just you? Or?
So there are like 2 teams. So it's 6 people in total, but there's 4 people on my team, including myself. Um, so we also have to like find times that work out for all of us, and the times that work out for all of us is 8 a.m. Central Time. So
Rip.
it's yeah,
I
I just
mean,
have to wake up and then like brush my teeth and then just sit down and then
like, I'll say it again. Like I think you should have tried to get at least one of them. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
did get out of.
probably.
Another thing is with the professor I know, like I'm fairly close with, so I can just tell him, hey, like I already have told him, like, hey, we need to chill until at least my class is over, my summer class is over.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that
honestly,
is quite a lot.
I think I've like settled into it now, so I've gotten to somewhat of a routine. But I mean, at the end of the day, it still is quite a bit.
Hang on, what are
Like,
you doing?
okay.
Nothing.
Just a very stark comparison there.
Like absolutely nothing.
Are you going? You're going back in the fall, right?
No. I am
No.
not.
I mean,
I'm gonna try and I'm actually transferring from UW to UTD. It's just cheaper and shit.
yeah. Has that gone smoothly or?
I don't fucking know, man. I'll be honest, like the fact that like so like the deadline for transferring for like the spring semester is in November, and that knowledge has like given me like no incentive to actually do that.
Nah,
So
yeah,
Rip.
yeah. I remember you could only transfer up until the end of your sophomore year, right?
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but you should have time. You should have plenty of time, right? Should be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be fun.
Still doing international IR, right?
Probably not. I think I'm probably
It
just
was.
gonna transfer to CS.
Ooh, the Heian.
I saw a graph actually,
Oh,
kind of like
really?
recently
Oh, the Heian, the
about
CS Heian.
STEM majors, or I forgot exactly what it was, but it's like all the different like degrees you can get like within STEM, right?
Yeah.
And it would have like on the left it would have like just like a list, and then there would be for each of like the categories or each of the majors there'd be like two bars. One bar would be like how many people are graduating, and then the other one would be how many people like are needed, like how many jobs like there are available.
Okay.
And for like most of them, for actually all of them except for CS, the number of people graduating was like pretty significantly larger than the number of jobs that were actually there. And with CS, the number of jobs that were there was actually larger than the number of people
Yeah.
graduating.
Yeah. I feel like that CS is like one of the emerging fields, though. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of other like STEM fields are like pretty established. CS is one of the newer ones, right? So
I mean, CS is like it's basically the equivalent to like industrial. Like, I mean, programming like computerization is like basically equivalent to like industrialization back in like the
yeah,
1800s. So this is just like we're just seeing all the jobs shifting from most other fields to programming.
but
Yeah.
I also feel like CS is one of those majors where it's like you are a programmer. This is like what you do. There's not a lot of variation from that. But like with a lot of other STEM fields, like STEM degrees,
No, what?
like a bio
I
degree, right? You don't just have to become a biologist. There's like a ton of other jobs out
yeah,
there,
like I
right?
won't disagree with that, but I think there's a lot more diversity if with what you want to do within CS than you give it credit for. There's
Yeah,
like
probably.
lots of different fields. You can do AI, NLP, deep learning, you can do VR, AR. There's just like so many, and that's all just within the whole realm of like artificial intelligence alone. Like beyond that, there's like data mining. There's just so many things. Like it's kind of actually unbelievable.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I just feel like
It
in
just
terms of
they're just not as like clearly distinguished because at the root of it, they're all programming.
And I
But
think oftentimes people specialize in more than one thing too.
oh wait,
Or well,
I'm
not.
sorry, I didn't catch that.
I think oftentimes people, not like people know the more than one thing. Like they specialize in more than
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing.
I'm not saying like it's that's why I'm saying it's not as clear a distinction as maybe like biology, right? Like if you're gonna be a pediatrician,
yeah,
that's what you do, right?
yeah, I
But
feel like the
that doesn't
skills in
mean
CS
you
are a
still
lot more
don't know
transferable
things.
between other like you said, like AR and VI and AI and all that kind of stuff. Like the skills you learn in one kind of subfield can transfer easily to like another field. But like if you're a doctor, it's very hard to become like a environmental conservationist or something. Even though
Yeah,
both of
but I
those
mean
would require the
those
same
the
degree.
I feel like those are two. Yeah, I suppose, but I mean the way I'm looking at it is like with doctor, right? You have like all the different roles, but you still like the different types of doctors, right? But you all still have to go to medical school and get like that same base level of knowledge. I think it's kind of the same as CS, where when you're learning CS and programming, you have to get to this like base level of knowledge of just how things work, and then you use that to go into whatever like specific sort of fields you want to. So I think they're
Yeah.
actually pretty similar.
Actually, a lot of things like the this is just like a kind of a tangent, just like a kind of fun fact kind of thing, but just like a lot of people think like once you go to med school, you become a doctor, but that's not true. Once you go to med school, like you have your doctor degree, but you actually can't start working in whatever field until you do what's called like residency, which is
Yeah.
basically where you go in and like you kind of like you're an intern, a paid intern. You make like as much as a teacher, and you do that for like 3 years before you can actually start working. So like if you
Is it really
change,
3 years?
so if
I
you
thought people
change,
only do residency for 2.
yeah, well, it depends how complex it is, like what your field is.
Okay.
But like if you
Yeah.
go from like if you're like a super high like neurosurgeon, like super OP, and you get paid like $500,000 a year or whatever, and then you're like, I want to do kidneys or whatever, you still have to go through residency again. So you get paid $40,000 a year for like the 3 years. So it's like you can't really switch once you start.
I mean, I
It'll be
guess
very
you
hard.
could if you really wanted to.
It will be very hard.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
time consuming.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but yeah, no, I get it. Man, this episode.
Jit,
is
what
full
are you
of
doing
tangents.
this summer? You have not answered the
Oh,
question.
yes, that's a great question. Well, some of it is sort of productive, some of it's not productive, but I'm working on my music, and I promise it's improved from the classic editions renditions at the end of the episode. So
When is it dropping?
let's.
When is the album dropping?
I don't know. Right now, I'm sort of kind of at like a stale point where I need to learn more about music production in order to actually finish more songs. So I've started recreating songs that like have been made already in maybe different genres. So the most recent example of that is "You Belong with Me." We did this song actually,
Yeah,
in the classic edition by Taylor Swift. "You Belong with Me," and so I made that into like a pop punk song.
very nice.
But uh yeah, I'm doing that. Thinking about maybe also getting like a job or something. I kind of want to get a job at like Guitar Center or like Music and Arts, and then get the Giga discounts, and I can get like a bass guitar. I think that'd be nice. Uh, that would be interesting. And then I've also been watching a fair bit of TV.
Jit, you should place. You should. We should post your music on the YouTube channel.
Haha, lol.
We should do this.
It definitely could be a thing. Yes, but I mean, other than that, that's sort of it's not nearly as packed as Pranay Summer, I imagine. But I feel like isn't it after a certain point you when you're like fully adulting, you're in the workforce, whatever, you don't even like have summer vacations, quote unquote, anymore. So
Yeah, kind of.
a
Yeah.
part of me is just like sad I'm not doing as many things as Pranay is doing because he's kind of bopping off. But at the same time, I'm just like I'm honestly still a kid. I'm 20, but like I'm a child. TBH. So
See, like
it's whatever.
I would like to do work on like things that I find like mostly CS projects that I found interesting. Because there are like some things that I have in mind that I thought would be cool.
Yeah.
What are these
Like
things?
you guys were supposed to make a game. We were supposed to make a game, but
I mean, we're
this
just
was long ago.
bad at like planning shit. Like,
At
That's
one
true.
point, we planned to make like an online version of Trump. No.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But
like,
PJ kind of started it too, right?
I mean, Munchkin started.
Munchkin.
I mean, we're just kind of bad at like organizing shit. Like, we can't even organize a dinner out. Like, it's kind of.
All right, you know what
Kinda
about that
bad.
one? You guys are just stupid.
Okay, look, like nobody said anything. I assume that we weren't doing it. Okay, like I don't know.
I'm about to scroll up. Honestly, I'm not going to though.
Yeah,
I'm lazy.
well, I'll
but
tell you what happened. I said I cannot go because I had some work to do. And everybody just assumed that when I said I cannot go, that we were just not going.
I mean, nobody said anything, so I was like, all
This
right,
is
I
true,
guess like
this is true.
I
I
guess
know
we're not
this is
doing
right.
it.
Yeah, nobody did say like we're not going.
Like,
Are you
Nobody said
sure?
going.
You know what was
I
it?
mean,
You guys were like,
after
you-
Club, nobody said
Hold
anything.
the
But I remember
phone.
right before, I was just like, "Are we confirmed? We going?" And I swear, someone asked like if we aren't going, but if Club doesn't come, or we go, and then I
dude, like literally, like I can tell
said
you right
something
now,
along
like
those lines,
the only thing said after Cobb said he wasn't able to come, people were just like, rip. I was like, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was also the case.
I mean, look, that's probably true. Like, there's a 99.999% true.
Yeah.
That's true. But hold on, I'm scrolling up. Just we'll see.
Okay.
The messenger takes 9 years to load. By
You
the
can
way.
you can search in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Queso.
Yeah, or you can just look. I said I probs can't come, something like that. Yeah, something like that. We will find out the truth.
All right. Let us see.
I'm pretty sure that Noah's right though.
Okay, I need to go even further beyond. My God, why do we talk so much?
Talk so much and say absolutely nothing.
That's
It's
a good
true.
point, Cobb. That's a very good point.
Dude, I swear, Messenger at Facebook's just so
Shit, I am
stupid.
on it right now. All I did was search control just
Okay,
queso.
okay. I see it. I found the conversation. All right. So, okay, wait. I need to scroll even more. Holy, this conversation is actually
Okay,
kind
I
of
will
long.
just tell you what happened. So, Puck asked if I was coming. I said I cannot. I props can't do tonight. And I was like, I might be able to do tomorrow. And then it was just a bunch of rips in the chat.
Okay.
And
No,
then
no. You have to start it from the very beginning. Pranay was like, "We El Queso tomorrow?" Question mark. I was like, "I'm down," and then I asked later. I think the next day, or no, later that day. I was like, "Do we go?" And then MK said we have to go at lunch to get the discount, and I was like, "Yeah." And then Pranay said he can't until 2:30. The discount was still 3. Pranay said, "Rip, what's new?" Noah like, "Maybe we just go another day then." Puck said he couldn't. Noah said, "Rip." Uh, I hate all of you. So then MK said I wasn't a big fan of their chips and drink. This is not super relevant, but I said on the 3rd, later that evening, let's go for dinner. It's whatever. I don't care. And then MK talked about steaks, uh, the league steak. And then Pranay said, "This is the key. After I eat, I need to confirm one thing with Intertrip Boy to see if I've done something correctly. Then I shall come." And then, oh wait, that was for the steak. Oh my lord, this conversation is so confusing. Okay, that night, I say for LK. So what is the? You guys are so bad at responding to things. How are you? You guys are actually
wait, just
aneurysmatic.
go down one. So you said
I said, wait, so are we
Yeah.
going tomorrow then? Pranay says, yee. I say, what time? Pranay says, 7, question mark. I say, I. And then we confirm that it's open. Cobb said, IDK if I can do tomorrow, but unsure at the moment. And then we roast him for saying that sentence because it's like a stupid ass sentence. All right.
Okay.
And then the next day I mentioned Krispy Kreme has free donuts. And then later MK asked him, Cobb, are you sure or do you know? And the Cobb said he should know by 1. And he said, yeah, I props can't do tonight. Might be able to do tomorrow though. And then everyone said rip. Then Noah Bernay talked about some stupid shit.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
I mean, am I wrong?
Reading through this conversation hurts my eyes.
Am I
don't
wrong?
like we're actually so cringe.
Am
by
I
the way.
wrong?
okay.
Okay.
The very next thing about El Queso is PJ saying, "Okay, I'm starting soon, Buck." That was it. There was nothing else in between.
All right, y'all are some fools.
How is this my fault
Okay.
in any way? Like,
I wait.
Okay,
What?
You know what? It's nobody's fault.
Look,
Everyone
here's what
miscommunication.
happened.
Everyone's
If
people.
it's-
you and
No,
Pranay
no.
made some like
Let
sort
me
of like
explain. Let me explain. I at this point I wasn't really entirely sure what was happening, so I called Pranay. I was like, "What time do you want to go to Queso?" And he was like, "This time." I forgot what time it was, and I was like, "Okay, I can drive there. You can drive there. So you can go pick up MK. I will go pick up Noah." And then he's like, "Okay, sounds good. We'll be there at X time." And then Pranay and I end the call after I call Pranay. And so then after that, I pick up the phone. I call Noah. I'm like, "Noah, look, I'm gonna come pick you up at this time. Be ready. We're gonna go to El Queso." And Noah's like, "Okay then." Pranay did not call MK.
Okay, I will concede that part is definitely my fault. I something must have been on my mind because I remember I was like, "Hey, I should probably go tell Puck this," and then obviously I did not. So this part I will concede is definitely that was definitely my fault.
you and Viswa just like made some like agreement between you two. You're like, hey, yeah, we're going to El Queso, right? Right. All right, we're all going to El Queso.
We were like, "Do we go? We go?" And both of us were like, "Yes, yee, all
Yeah.
right, yee."
Yeah,
I
and
still,
then
like,
Cobb was like,
no,
I don't think I
because-
can come that time. And I
Because
was like,
Jith and I both thought that we're going to go. I just thought like, hey, we're probably going to go.
Also,
And,
like-
everyone is also thought the same.
Okay, yeah. No, when we asked like, do we go? Are we going? You offered very little
I mean,
in
like
terms
I
of
just
actually
didn't. I
answering the
wasn't
question.
reading the conversation at that point, and like by the time like I saw it the next day, like Cobb was already like, I can't come. So I was like, oh okay, I guess we're not doing El Queso.
The thing is, I said I could probably do tomorrow though, and no one responded to that.
Okay, that's also
I
a sad thing too.
I honestly
Yeah.
like just did not see that part.
I said I could
Yeah.
probably do
I,
tomorrow,
I
and
just
then
like
everybody's like,
forgot.
okay.
I mean,
Nobody responded to that.
I don't think I could have done tomorrow. I need to think of.
Well, you could have at least said something.
Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, we could have said something too.
But
People just
yeah.
ignored that part.
Anyways, yeah. So we
World
can't
Scores Ripcom.
we can't
Yeah.
organize jack shit. So I don't know.
Oh,
Clearly.
that's how we ended up here, right?
Yeah. Well,
Right,
is
right.
anybody gonna ask me what I did during summer? Okay,
I
I'll
was
answer.
about
it.
to ask
So-
what
I
did
was
you do
literally
this summer?
about to, Jacob.
Okay, well, I'm also taking a couple classes. I'm taking one required bio class that I just don't want to take in school, which it makes room for me to actually take like biology of COVID next semester, which
Is
was
that a
pretty interesting.
class?
So
Yeah,
it-
actually, I've learned this. A lot
Yeah,
of colleges
the
or
way
people
that
I've heard are missing this.
So the way that a lot of colleges actually have this is they have one class in each department, which is like a current events type class, where the content of the class changes each semester based on like what professors think would be relevant and cool and interesting to teach the kids. And so for the biology department this year, for next semester, is biology of COVID. So obviously, like they have to create the whole curriculum and stuff like that because nothing's like been written. There's no like textbook or anything like that. So they just like based on all the research done, they create some sort of curriculum. So I always thought that was interesting. It's only like offered this semester, so I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And so I'm taking another bio class just to make room for that, and I'm also taking some required English class. But that's pretty dumb, so it doesn't matter. Uh, yeah, and then that's taking a lot of time doing some lab work, stuff like that, but not as much as PJ, not nearly as much as PJ, but not as little as Hayon. I have somewhere in between.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more stuff once school starts back up. Obviously with classes, but I mean beyond that, there's like a lot of other things I'd like to do, ideally. But right now, it's just
I will
not
say though,
a
I
whole
quite
lot.
enjoy doing the podcast stuff.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah.
We hope you guys listening enjoy the podcast stuff as much as Jacob.
He does do the OP editing.
It's fun.
Yeah, I feel like at some point you mentioned it was like therapeutic to edit the podcast.
Yeah, probably say that sometime.
I mean, this is on the guest with Bonnie episode.
Maybe she said that. Maybe I just agreed with her.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. This episode has been quite funny though because we have been on a permanent tangent for pretty much the vast majority of it.
We covered one topic.
Yeah,
One
out of our
topic.
topic list, we've covered a singular topic.
When we're playing this, we're worried about like, hey, we should probably have enough to make sure.
All right. You know, here's what we're gonna do. Should we just burn through these topics right now? Just have one word answers from each of us. We just go.
I feel
like
we
one
should
sentence
maybe save
answers.
some topics, but what do I know? Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
How was it?
Favorite music right now, Renee? What is it?
Kiss Me More, Doja Cat.
Oh, that's a good song. Yeah. Okay, Jacob. Favorite music right now. What is it? Tell me.
Thunderstruck, 2 cellos.
All right, Noah. Favorite music at this moment in time. What is it?
Noise.
Noise.
Yep.
Good song.
Yeah,
Okay,
great
okay.
song.
Noise. All right. My
Jake,
favorite
music. Yeah.
at this current time is
His own music. Plugged in.
it's probably "What's Poppin'" by Jack Harlow. It goes hard. All right. What else? Cake versus pie. Which is better? Renee.
Pie, easily. Cherry pie.
All right. Jacob.
Cake. There's no question.
All right. Noah.
Cake.
Wait, what did you say, Noah?
Cake.
Said cake.
Oh, yes. I vote cake too. Renee, you're out of here. You're
off
gone.
the island.
Actually,
If we were to survive an island, I would kicked out first.
for not liking the cake. All right. And then I guess we can just do this. Supernatural monster. If you had to be a supernatural monster, vampire, werewolf, ghost, whatever else is out there, I don't even know. Which one would you be? One word. We'll do the same order. Renee, go.
Harambe.
Okay.
Oh my
I was
god.
thinking something monkey-like, and I was like, "This is the only thing I can think of this moment."
Jesus Christ.
Alright, there you go.
Yeah, I would do a werewolf.
Werewolf. Okay. Noah.
Invisible Man.
Invisiwoman.
Invisible Man.
Oh, I heard like I was just like, what?
Like,
The
invisible
gender
woman,
change
what?
to go with it. I was like, I you do you,
Okay.
fam. Alright. I picked vampire.
Oh yeah, no shit.
No doubt, yeah.
A vampire.
I mean, like, what if you just like get the like fucking gross ass like Nosferatu vampire though?
oh,
like, you-
that would not be
Like you don't
ideal.
get to be the hot vampire. You don't get to be like the glampire. You gotta be like the
I
gross.
want to be a glampire though.
You gotta be like the gross, like sitting in the coffin for too long vampire. Like
Nah, I'd be okay. Then I'd be like the half vampire, half human. Alucard vibes.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
Alucard has is so nice. He can go out in the day, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have to.
He's
He
the
doesn't.
ultimate.
He doesn't have like
yeah,
all these.
I'd go with
weaknesses.
that. That's my
it's
answer.
got a
if I was
giant
some
fucking
supernatural thing.
castle. You know,
Yeah.
like honestly, like that little scene where they had him like gathering food, like fish and shit. That meal looked nice. Like it's like all animated, but like, damn, looked good.
He has a magic sword.
Yeah.
That just flies around,
In
kills
more
me.
ways- more
Honestly,
ways than
I
one.
wonder
Yes,
how many minutes of this podcast we spent just like obsessing over Castlevania.
Exactly.
At least Noah and I have been the vast majority of that, and then Bernays finally finished it. So Jacob, it's all on you now.
Well, I don't have Netflix, so this is quite unfortunate.
Wait, you actually don't have
No,
Netflix?
I do not. I've never had Netflix.
What do you have?
no.
What streaming service? I know you
Uh,
have Disney Plus.
I have
for
Disney
sure.
Plus
you do.
and HBO Max.
You don't have Prime?
Nope.
You don't have Amazon Prime?
Nope.
Well, you
I've
get the
never
student
paid for
discount.
Amazon Prime.
Wait, Amazon Prime is like one of the most worth things, though.
Yeah,
even
But
though
I
it's Jeff
barely
Bezos.
order off Amazon. I barely
I mean,
buy stuff off Amazon.
There's, like, other stuff.
But what about your family, like your dad?
Yeah, like we just barely buy stuff on Amazon.
So they don't have it either.
Nope.
Like maybe I'd max once a month.
I mean,
I see.
Like there were definitely like 3 or 4 month spells where like we just didn't need anything off Amazon.
I guess it's true, but I don't
It's
know.
just
There's like Prime
convenient.
Video and all that shit.
Yeah, but I don't
Okay,
know.
we
There's
made
like
it.
there's like 1 or 2 shows that I would like. Okay, yeah, I want like The Boys. I want to watch The Boys and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
The
but,
Boys, The Expanse.
like-
Yeah, the boys.
yeah, but stuff
Boys
like
season 2.
besides that, I don't think I'd be watching too much. So
Buffy the Vampires are worth trust. It's
we
worth.
I
shall
don't know.
see.
I mean, like personally, I think like being the Invisible Man would be like dope. Like,
Would you have to like run around everywhere nude, or would it be
I mean, like
you
I
know,
don't really
also
care
use as
either way.
clothing?
Like, I mean, people can't see me like permanently or temporarily. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as like at some point I'm invisible for an extended period of time. Like, I really don't care if it's permanent or not.
What would you do?
I would sleep on the IKEA beds without paying.
What if someone just like jumps on top of you?
That would be kind of rude and also probably really confusing for them.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. I would go see what's in Area 51.
Oh, that would be pretty OP.
Well, like you're invisible, but that doesn't mean you don't have like infrared and stuff like that.
That's true.
They won't expect it. They'll never expect it.
I mean,
feel
I
like they
kind
definitely
of
have,
gotta
like-
wonder, like, if they just like if they like see somebody like in like thermal vision, but then they try to see them in like and they just like don't see anything, like
They'll shoot it.
I feel like
You
they'll
think?
do it just out of like
It's
just
just, like,
suspicion.
it's just
Yeah.
the air, right? Like, we'll just shoot it
yeah,
anyway.
no, that's just like a weirdly like man-shaped pocket
At the
of
same
hot
time,
air.
it's Area 51. They probably have already seen these Invisibilia boys.
Yeah, like if it's like in the shape of a human, like
I mean,
I'm
like-
pretty sure they would just assume there's like some sort of tech.
Like
that, like,
I'm
makes them
thinking about it,
invisible.
like I'm not sure.
Tech.
Would you show up on thermals in like the Nevada desert? Because
Wait. Area 51, you definitely would, because it's not. It's like a building, I assume. It's not like
I mean, yeah.
just the desert. Like, it's not
Well, it's not
outdoor.
just one building either.
But
It's
like
like an
also like
entire
there's like
base.
multiple ways to get onto Area 51, right? Like you don't just like walk across the desert into the base.
Yep,
I
no
also feel like
parachutes in.
every single entrance definitely has like motion detectors or like thermal
I
vision.
don't know, man. Like I could.
That's why you parachute in.
You just gotta get into like a fucking box somewhere and like get yourself shipped to like Groom Lake, Nevada.
When someone's ordering their Uber Eats,
Yeah,
you get into the
Actually, I would like that would be. I would like totally want to like fuck with people like that. I would just like get like a car and just pretend it's like a self-driving car.
You go to Google and you're just like, if you guys pay me $1 million
Yeah,
a day or
I'll
some
just
shit,
call up
I
A
will
Elon Musk.
million? You could do it for so much more than $1 million.
Yeah,
I
just
will
be-
be the
I'll
self-driving.
be your self-driving car. I mean, like I don't know, man.
you still need to get your license first.
I mean, they can't see me, right? Like, I mean, I would need a license. Let's see, what else could I do? I don't know. Like, basically, like the appeal of it is that like, if I don't want people to find me, like, they won't be able to find me. So
yeah.
Sounds
That
kinda
could be
hype,
cool.
actually.
That could be
I
cool.
mean, like, I could commit like minor crimes, I guess.
Yeah.
I could.
No one like walks into Walmart, like steals the Snicker
How-
bar.
how, yeah.
If Leon ever got into the hunt situation, you turn the hunt into hunting.
I mean, I would really question how they would like capture me and put me in a forest if I'm
Yeah,
invisible.
also
Like, that sounds
that's a
like
good
if
point.
they got to that point, like I don't know if my invisibility would be much use. I mean, let's see.
Yeah, because things you touch don't turn invisible, right? Just like your body.
I could like say things unexpectedly behind people's shoulders. Like when people are like talking to themselves, like in like say like the Macy's, and they're like, "Man, should I go with the red shirt or the blue shirt?" I'll just be like, "The red shirt." And then they would turn around, there's nobody there. I would totally.
Yeah.
I would just spend all my time doing that shit.
I could definitely see
All
Leon
your
doing
time
this.
is
Dude,
just
it
telling
would-
people what shirt they should get at Macy's.
Nah, but like, see, the thing is, like, they think they're going insane because I would absolutely have a blast if I was invisible. Like, even like I think like the original Invisible Man story, wasn't it like some sort of like tragedy or something? Because like he was like nobody could see him or some shit like that.
Yeah.
See, like I never got that. Like, why is that something that you would care about at all?
Maybe he has a family
So
and would like to see his family to see.
he can see his family; they just can't see him.
Maybe he would like his family to see him.
Why? That doesn't answer my question, though.
His family love him.
Again, does not answer my question.
His family will be sad if they cannot see him.
But why?
Pretty. I honestly wonder just how you made it this far.
I mean, like, I haven't
What do
seen.
you mean? This is. Would you not be sad if you could not see one of your?
I mean, like, I can't see
the
you
family
right
just
now.
know
Like,
the way you're handling.
like, I spent, like-
yes, your point makes sense. Noah is being stupid, but when I listen to this conversation, Noah seems like the smart one.
Yeah, something else you could do is like you could just sneak up on like random animals in the woods and just like poke them.
You scare animals.
What if the
They can
animals they don't
smell
even
you.
see you?
They
They
can
have
smell
the
you.
Oh, they probably
echolocation.
would smell me. Like, honestly,
Yeah, they probably
I
would.
think most animals don't even like rely on eyesight that much.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you could even fuck with animals.
Yeah,
You basically
I'd probably just get mauled by a
destroy-
bear.
Yeah, like you definitely don't want to fuck with animals.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it could be fun.
I mean,
You definitely have the most fun messing with humans. Just like spend all day
Exactly.
at Stonebriar.
oh my god, that would be so funny.
No, they order a medium, they put it in the bag, you switch it out for a large.
Man.
None of their clothing ever fits. They always wonder how this happened to them. You could just do so much like
Oh,
small you could just be like the inconvenient invisible man, just like slightly inconvenience everybody.
Oh man, like I would like hang around in like Stonebriar like after dark, and like the janitors are like closing up and shit, and I would just like do small inconvenient things. Like I don't know, I would like just like throw a soda can across the room. Not even that far, because I can't throw that far. And they would just have to deal with that shit.
Feels bad for the janitor. Why are you making these janitors work so much
That's
harder? No, what the
true.
frick?
No, I should probably do that for like some asshole. Like
Yeah.
like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos probably doesn't have like thermal cameras guarding his mansion. Like,
Honestly, he
That-
might.
I mean, like, why would he? Like,
Because
Why
he just
wouldn't he?
he saw the upgrade and he said, "Yeah, sure."
I mean, yeah, but like also, I mean,
Why does he have a
what?
space company? Same reason. Why
No,
not?
I mean, like his space company would actually like possibly go to space, but like, what use would a thermal camera be? If like you're not expecting to like I don't know like take out a stealth aircraft or something.
Maybe he is
He wants to
expecting
take
to.
out stealth aircraft.
I don't know.
You don't know about the life of Jeff Bezos.
Honestly, like, man, it's kind of nuts to think about, but like Jeff Bezos could probably like buy an entire like private army, and
He could probably buy a small country.
Probably already has a private army.
yeah,
He could probably like buy a small country.
probably.
You know the guy
could buy a
who
big
owns Virgin Atlantic and stuff. What's his name?
Richard
Oh, I know
Branson,
who
something like that.
Yeah. Richard Branson. When he was like, I don't know, when he was younger, he was trying to like get his wife to like him or something like that. And so he
Wait.
Does his wife not like him?
like
When he was
before when he was like dating his wife,
Yeah.
before she was the wife, right? He like
Okay.
there was this like private island, and he's like, "Yo, I will buy you this island for $1 million." And the like obviously the owner of the island was there. He was selling it. He's like, "I'll give it to you for $100,000." And he's like, "Really?" And so he bought an island.
That's a
He
steal.
bought the island. Yeah. So there's an island that he owns now, and now that island is worth like I don't know, like tens of millions of
I don't
dollars.
know. I feel like a lot of those islands probably don't have that much inherent worth, though.
But I just feel like the
How
price of
does-
land in general is
How,
Yeah.
how does that like work? Like, how do you like stake a claim? Like, how does someone get like the rights to sell this
It's
island?
probably-
Right?
I
Do you
mean-
just get there first?
I
don't
feel like
know.
there's probably like I would guess like either the government that like owns those islands is willing to just like lease out an
That's true.
entire island, just because they need the money, or like it's probably just unclaimed by any government because it's so worthless.
Yeah, that's possible. Because like a lot of them are just like out in the middle of the ocean,
Yeah,
right? So like, what's the use of having?
like
that?
congrats, you have a piece of fucking sand in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah,
Good job. Hope you're proud of yourself.
It's the ultimate safe house from zombie apocalypse. You build a house there. Get all
Okay,
the
but
food.
like again, though, like
What if
zombie
there's swimmer
apocalypse, like
zombies?
I don't really get why that would be a concern, really.
Hey, on, it's just like I'll just kill myself.
I mean, yeah, you can just shoot them with guns.
Oh, shoot that.
I mean, yeah, they can't shoot back. They're zombies.
That's true. What if they're skilled zombies?
Then they wouldn't be zombies. They would be like, they would just be people.
That's true.
This is America.
Very
Okay,
true.
lift it up. Whip it up. Oh my god.
Well,
All right.
let's just end
You know
this,
what?
but-
Well, that sounds like an appropriate ending to today's episode of stating the obvious. So don't forget to. I need new, honestly. What is it? Verbs?
What?
yeah,
Is that what I need?
yeah,
Make sure to not smash.
demolish.
Make sure to.
I've already used demolish.
Synonyms for smash.
Fuck.
Make sure to incinerate that like button. What do you say for leave a comment? What is a
Drop.
cooler way to say
You
leave
drop.
a comment?
So
You don't drop. Base drop a comment.
Oh my
below.
God.
You can bomb the comment.
You sound like a principal trying to appeal to middle schoolers.
All right. What if our listeners are middle schoolers?
Then I don't know. Don't worry about
Exactly.
Don't worry about middle
All
school
right.
kids. Middle school doesn't matter at all. It has no impact on
Make
your life.
sure to what I need a cop. Give me a synonym
for what?
for like for the follow thing.
To
Stalk,
form a cult.
harass.
Form a cult
Harass. I
around-
like harass.
Harass the follow button, the subscription button. Just
Make-
harass the shit out
Make
of
the
it.
follow
You won't
button
be
get
charged.
your
Promise
restraining
on
order
word
on
of
you.
God.
Fucking follow the follow button home. Find out where it is. Hide in the bushes. Take pictures of the follow button.
Make sure
Follow
to do
button, man.
all of that. And leave a comment below. Let us know if you like the tangential nature of today's episode. If you want us to do more episodes like this, or whether we should stick strictly to our topic list, which honestly would cover similar topics either way. Either way, though, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of Stating the Obvious.